on everything else. All right, profiles live. Looks like Facebook is live. Trying to get YouTube up and rolling, and then we should be good to go. Once that's good, kind of say what's going on and who I am. All right, I think we're good here. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, just getting my morning cardio done. Went ahead and did a full body workout today. The vlog is now up. Really good workout, happy with it. I went ahead and did box work and sled during it today, so we did all that stuff. All right, we did all of that, and yeah. So there we go. First person's in here. I need to go ahead and definitely put this up in the community tab for YouTube, and then it should be streaming right along. All right. I guess people in here really quick once we do that. Okay. Oops. All right, put that in the community tab and we should be good to go. All right, first few views are in. There we go. That community tab post starts to get people in there. All right, so yeah, we're getting our cardio done. Had a really good full body workout today. Did sled work at the end. Want to get a little bit of lifts on my bike before we get breakfast in. Got breakfast going in the Instapot. But again, like to get this list cardio in, burn through some calories, get all that done. I'm definitely not going to run anymore on my lifting days. It's just too much. My mileage is starting to clock really, really high at this point, keeping in mind I'm over 200 pounds still, 48 years old. There are recovery limits lifting the way that I do. I lift really hard 3 days a week. I just added running back in 3 weeks ago after 20 years of no running. Those 5 mile runs add up real fast, especially barefoot because of the impact on my calf, my hamstring and everything. Definitely my left calf and hamstring have a little bit of overuse occurring already. So I can't run 7 days a week, and that's okay. We can accept that. 4 days a week of hitting 5 miles minimum gives me over 20 miles every week. I feel like that's sufficient right now, especially considering it's not my only cardio. All right, we lift really hard 3 days a week, and I'm not throwing around lightweight. I mean, you guys routinely see me doing rep work with 315 on the bench, 500 on the deadlift. You know, those are not maxes. That's rep work. So there's a lot going on there. Again, we have finite recovery ability, but in terms of things that I can recover from, I can always do this easy list on the bike like I'm doing now, stream to you lovely guys and gals, and keep that going. Silverback says, what's up, coach? You need to hit the like button, Silverback. That's what's up. Come on now, you're in here commenting, get them likes up. Super beneficial. But what's up is I just finished working out, got the vlog up, and we're getting cardio done. Pretty much what's up, brother. How about you? What are you up to? Right. Natty, you know what I'm up to. Man, I get some crazies on Facebook. So it just blows my mind, how many people will argue about science, they'll argue about LDL cholesterol. And I'm like, we're at a point, this is not a debate anymore, right? There's not really a debate on things like LDL cholesterol. The causation has been determined that it is the primary driver of atherosclerosis. This is not something that you can play with or buy into conspiracy theories if these things run in your family. So it's kind of frustrating for me as someone who I know my medical history. And, you try to explain to people that, look, if you are wrong, if it turns out all the best cardiologists in the world, around the world in every country, and the top researchers are actually right, and your soccer mom and conspiracy theory people are wrong, your advice would kill me. Okay, with my family history, if I listened to you or anyone with a family history like that listens to you clowns, and it turns out that you're wrong, that your conspiracy theory isn't true, and that all these hundreds and hundreds of cardiologists around the world actually got it right, when it comes to heart disease, y'all's advice would kill us. It would be a death sentence for people like me. You would kill us with it. We would die. And that's what they don't seem to grasp. This is not like a little game. You can't just run around saying, oh, well, they're just trying to sell statins. That's all it's about. Statins are dirt cheap. Does anyone know how cheap statins are? Most of you pay more for protein powder than you pay for Lipitor. Just stop. Nobody's making billions of dollars on statins anymore. They're so cheap to produce and so competitive. They're one of the cheapest drugs that are prescribed. You know, like out of pocket, they're cheap at this point. You don't even need your insurance to cover them. So there's no conspiracy on that. You know. Oh, Lord, got all that nonsense in here. So, yeah, but people will argue this stuff. But let's hop back over to the questions. We'll ignore the nonsense in the Facebook. Let them troll for a bit. Puts money in my pocket. My HDL is always higher than LDL and triglycerides. I mean, that's a good thing. That's protective. But if your LDL is too high, it's still not helping you. Does that make sense? When the LDL reaches a certain level, none of that other stuff is going to save you from it. Now, what tends to happen, of course, is if your HDL is fairly high, your LDL tends to not get out of range. Makes sense? So that's generally what you're looking at. But obviously having a high HDL and a low triglycerides is always good too. But keep in mind, the LDL is by itself its own driver, is the primary factor of accumulating arterial plaque. All right. I mean, your cardiologist said the same thing. My cousin had to go off Lipitor, too much muscle pain and kidney issues. Yeah, that sucks, unfortunately. Because Lipitor is definitely very helpful. At least members of my family. Pretty much, you know, I got to go into who. A member of my family who had multiple heart attacks stopped having heart attacks completely after he went on Lipitor. After multiple ones, he, you know, went 15 years without another one. Kind of helps. Yeah, but for some people, that side effect can definitely add up. Do they try a different statin? Maybe, I don't know. Then again, I'm not a cardiologist, but I listen to them. I talk to them because it's something I care about with my family history. All right. All right, see if we get some actual real question. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. Get rid of this troll now on Facebook. We let those comments sink in, make a little money off of them, and then we get rid of it. All right, next. And the questions quit rolling in there, though. Big Chud said, good morning, Coach. Looking huge and veiny today. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Doing okay. That's been the fascinating thing, too. You know, you'll get people who come in and you'll get the people who do hate. And then I've had some other people chime in. They're like, you do realize, you know, you guys are hating on this guy and you're all really heavily juiced up bodybuilders saying it if you have pictures at all. And they're like, do you understand that for everybody else out here, those of us who want to get fit, we see someone like Jason at his age is completely unobtainable for us. And so like they've chimed in on that of like people hating, like you do know you demoralize normal people when you guys do that. Like we're looking at that going, man, this guy is literally unobtainable for the rest of us at this age. We'll never be where he is. And if he looks terrible, what does that say about us? I think, and that's something people, when they start with their crazy goofball hate stuff, either they hate me and they're not even fit, or they're really heavily enhanced bodybuilders who are also quite a bit younger than me. And they pull the insults. They don't understand that everyone else out there trying to get in shape, you're basically telling them they have no chance, just give up, is what they're doing with that. Like, people are literally creating harm with that nonsense. Because of course I don't look like a serious competitive champion bodybuilder. But to the average person in their 40s, I might as well be Arnold. And I think people are forgetting that. And so, I'm trying to help these people put out information. When people do that, you're literally hurting fitness. Like, you're hurting the image of everyone who wants to get fit in their 40s. It's a net negative. Because my target audience isn't serious competitive bodybuilders. That's not who my audience is. Now, a lot of my audience might be serious strength athletes. There's a lot of people who are at the world level started with a lot of my free stuff. They're still fans. They send me messages. But, the difference is people get ludicrous with that stuff, and they're not thinking through the reality of, the real world of people. They're not putting it in that context. They're so obsessed with whatever their obsession or hatred is of me, they're losing sight of that fact of trying to do net good in the world. Man, is something wrong with the YouTube stream? Like, is it broke? Because there's tons of people watching and there's no comments coming through. So I don't know what's up with that. We hit the reset the live chat. I have more likes than I have comments, so it's kind of weird. What's up? I'm not sure if the comments are broken, but the lack of comments will then drive the views down. It'll go ahead and just quit sending it out. Yeah. All right. Now, Richard, are you still there? You're talking about LDL. Let me go ahead and end the profile. Let's see if it'll get me. I need another reel on there for the week. It needs to have one so I can get my badges. All right. Man, we're just having a lack of comments today. It's going to be one of those until it picks up. Once enough people see it, they'll hop in. Richard, I'm here busy meal prepping. I got some great steaks. Okay, cool. Yeah, this one's slower. My runs have been really good, though, on the views the last couple of days. The last couple of big runs. But some of these later in the day, I'm just not getting a lot of people in. But, it happens. Once some of the regulars come in, though, then it gets all popping off. Some of my early morning regulars, though, this is probably a bad time for them because it's probably right around 5, 6. They're trying to get home from work, finishing up work. A lot of my British early morning followers. So it's kind of a different crowd in these two streams. Right? Very different crowd. Big Shot, can we get him out by Cepheus? Not really. I can't do it physically, Chud. Like, I physically can't do a front double bicep. That's one reason I'm working on the shoulder health. I literally cannot do it. Like, if my life was on the line, I would just have to die. My arms will not go into position, which is one reason I'm kind of obsessed with getting that shoulder range of motion restored. Not really. For a super chat, I'll do it. Hope you're okay, Jason. Is chicken skin okay? Hey, Scott. I'll try for a super chat. All right. But what do you mean try? Like, you're talking about front double bicep? No, I already know I can't do it. Like, I literally know I can't. I've tried. I've already tried. Scott, I feel like I've answered saturated fat ad nauseum. Does it fit within your calorie needs for fat, and how much saturated fat is in it? So moderating saturated fat's fine, but unless I have a context for how much, I can't answer that question. Makes sense? Like, I don't know, is your saturated fat reaching 10% of your calories from the chicken skin? Or is it reaching over about 20 grams a day? Then I'm going to say it's probably bad. But if it's under that, probably reasonable, unless you're trying to limit total fat. I don't know, Super. Just drop any super chat. It doesn't matter. I just feel like if you guys want me to do requests like that, y'all should be dropping supers. Marcelo, how's the cut going? Marcelo, I've definitely slowed it down because I want to focus on the performance more, but I'm down a pound. I'm down to 209 now. So it may start trickling on down at this point because I'm doing all the running. And now I've cut the dietary fat down a bit while running because I'd added a bit in to get used to it, to get the inflammation down of healthy fats. Now that I'm back to lower fat with just carbs, it'll probably start trickling on down now. So I'm down a pound again. It's just gonna be a slow downward reduction at this point in body weight. So I'm under 200. And I feel like I look a little leaner today. I'm definitely down a pound as of this weekend, or as of yesterday. We're at 209. So it's been a downward trend. I mean, it's still, was it 18 total pounds, even though it was well over a month of no scale loss. But again, I knew that would happen possibly with the running. But like I said, now that we're doing all the fasted running, and now that I've adapted to it, and I can take the extra fat out of the diet, I think we'll see it keep trickling down. I mean, intermittent fasting with low fat and high carb tends to work really, really, really well. Let's see. All right. Well, at least the comments are coming up now. At least we're getting engagements and comments on both streams, so that's good. All right, let's get some more questions going here, people. Scott's not going to drop a super for the Mount Bicep. Yes, you need to drop it. Send you back. But I'll take your continued engagements. But again, happy with the training again. Let me threw the belt back on, like I said in the video. You know, there's just no benefit, I think, at this point to me training beltless. Like, nobody cares. It's not like any strength sport in the world bans belts. Everyone considers it wrong. I might as well just belt up, but I'm still going to do everything without shoes. Coach, what's up? Peppermint, this was really slow to start. Now the regulars are starting to see it. Did you see it from the community tab, or did it hit your notifications? We got Peppermint Freedom in the house. Let's get some fitness questions, guys. Come on. refresh YouTube and it popped up. All right, cool. Yeah, I don't really know how that works for me. I don't have any notifications or pop-ups at all ever from YouTube. I've never gotten a pop-up. Well, we hit 209 yesterday, but thank you, Peppermint. So it should be a nice, I think, steady, slow trend downward from here. It's a trap bar deadlift superior. I don't like trap bar deadlifts at all, personally. I agree with Viata. The trap bar is a solution looking for a problem. No, I don't think it's superior at all. I think if you're proficient with a deadlift, it's a higher injury risk, and I think it's just more axial fatigue because you're forced to use a heavier weight. To get the same rate of perceived exertion, like you're going to be stronger on it, but then it has an unstable lockout. So I'm not a fan. I really don't like the unstable lockout aspect. I think that causes back injuries potentially. Just learn to deadlift correctly, and conventional deadlift is fine. Just my opinion. That's one thing I do agree with Ripto on too. He kind of holds the same opinion of it. I know a lot of people love it. You think you'll be below 200 in the next few months? Yeah, definitely. It'll happen this year. All right. I mean, we've lost 18 already. I'm only 9 pounds over. You know. So it'll definitely happen this year. Not a big deal. Yeah, G users. It's kind of funny. I thought everyone knows that I don't like the trap bar deadlift. It's fairly common knowledge. I really want to sell mine, but I can't get anybody to buy it. I'm not bothering to put it up online yet. I've had 3 different people inquire about it here or there, and I've offered to sell it to them. So I've had that trap bar has been sitting there for like 6 years in my rack. I don't use it at all. I probably need to just bite the bullet and just throw it up on an online sale somewhere just to get rid of the damn thing. Because it takes up so much space and it's such a useless hunk of crap. Marcelio, yeah. So here's the thing. If something is obviously real criticism, the running, sure. But yeah, I don't take advice from people who aren't coaches. I mean, that's pretty straightforward. You know, like I need to see that you're a world-class level coach before you give advice. But I block trolls, you mean? It's not, I don't block everyone. I only block serious trolls. Right. Well, Marcelio, I'm literally not. So the example, like those dumbbell overhead presses, those are to failure. Like I'm hitting failure at rep 7. I have no overhead strength with that range of motion problem still there. And it doesn't matter that I can rep out 225 on a high incline. It's literally, I do not have the range of motion up there. You know, I mean, you can say that all you want, but then if I were to demonstrate with a heavier one and it would just probably stop right here, you'd be like, oh, never mind. You know, like those are actually really, really, really hard sets. So for me, trying to overhead press those dumbbells feels about as hard as a 315 bench in terms of effort, or about a 300 bench. All right, Ted's in here. The trap bar deadlift is a power clean assistance lift. You perform the same sodium just as clean. Yeah. Have any of your clients started running barefoot? Not that I know of. Not since I started. Do I have a client who runs barefoot already? Yeah. I mean, I didn't start just saying I was recommended me for a distance running coach. He was highly successful. Oh, yeah, Ted runs barefoot. I forgot about Ted. So I have a couple clients. Yeah, Ted's done like did a 5K barefoot before. We were chatting about that the other day. But Marcelia, when I update other stuff, it's based upon the weight of scientific evidence. But I mean, no, you're not going to convince me that I'm stronger than that on an overhead dumbbell press because I've tried. Like, you're just going to sound silly, you know? That's why, again, I'm really obsessed with getting that range of motion restored because I want to be able to put up heavy weights again overhead. I mean, you've seen me strict press 227.5 and lock it all the way out when I used to be able to do that. But, you know, I literally cannot extend my arms all the way up overhead, which is, again, a high priority for me is to be able to do that again. All right. Matt, coach another full body in the books, close grip chins, squat dead, hammer curl. This is the way. There you go, Matt. Good stuff. I think this barefoot running. What do you mean? Why? Big Shud. I don't see why you would think that. I mean, they get pretty good views, but it's just, they're just my vlogs. They're running vlogs. I don't think it's going to go viral. Not like I'm the first person to ever barefoot run. There's thousands and thousands of people who do it all the time, and your ancestors did it. It's really not a big deal. So there's nothing special about me doing it. Do you think some people are more structured to pull sumo than conventional? Yes. If someone has pain pulling conventional, but it's fine doing sumo, they may want to look at why they're getting pain on conventional. There's a lot to think through with that statement. Some people are going to be stronger at sumo. Some people are going to be stronger at conventional, even if they train both equally. That's just the name of the game. But if you're getting pain on conventional, but no pain pulling sumo, you may need to assess why you're getting that pain. Yeah, Kazan, I didn't ban you. I just put you in timeout. Just because you were kind of getting annoying. But it's all good. You're back in here. You're free to engage in a respectful manner, man. Love supersetting the close grip and the chin safe time. That definitely works. I do have a lot of clients who do that. Do you ever get weird looks running barefoot? I get people who look all the time with everything I do outside on the cardio gig. I don't think it's weird looks, but why would you care? Well, I'm just going to tell you right now, if you're not going to do something that you think is an effective form of exercise because people are going to give you weird looks, then you're just a fucking bitch-ass pussy. I guess that's a point where you just admit you're a big floppy pussy because I can't comprehend that. I can't. I'm sorry. I'm not even sorry, man. Come on, dude. Think about that. Well, I want to try some exercise that I think will be beneficial, but I'm worried people will give me funny looks. Damn. I mean, damn, I don't even know what to say about that. Yeah, that's bitch made, Coach Peppermint's right. I mean, what more could you possibly say about that? Diesel Viper says, hello, Jason. What's up, Diesel Viper? How you doing, man? Hello to you, too. Yeah, I mean, literally kind of skip an exercise that you want to do because you think people will look at you funny. I mean, in that case, I am, Kazin. Yeah. Hey, Kazin, if you came in here and said, hey, man, I want to go try this thing, but I think people will look at me funny, but I think it would be really useful to my fitness. Like, seriously, dude, come on. Like, seriously, that is, if one of my clients pulled that up, I'd be like, what's wrong with you? Like, nut up and go get it done. Right? Quit bitching. I did the same thing when one of my clients says, wow, you got me doing glute bridges, but I'm worried people are going to think I'm doing a chick exercise. I told him, quit being a pussy and go do the glute bridge. That's what I told him. And he went and did the glute bridges. Like, are you serious? He was a younger guy. But I'm just like, what are you talking about, man? I'm like, go do your glute bridges. In fact, the girls at the gym looking might respect the thrusting better. Okay. So I'm gonna put you back in case and you go back in the corner. Nose in the corner, son. Back over. When you can come back and follow the rules in my house, then you can be a guest again. Oh man. A lot of people come here to argue. Right? We're in my classroom. Behave. And yeah, I'm gonna call out silliness. I mean, saying that you think people will look at you funny when you do an exercise is the thing stopping you from doing it. I mean, I understand if you say, hey, I think this exercise is dangerous. I think this exercise is ineffective. I think this exercise isn't the best choice for my current training. Hey, those are all valid excuses. Hey, I'll accept those excuses. You know, but to say you're scared people are going to look at you funny, mm-mm. That is a total failing of character. You need to reevaluate your worldview at that point, or go get your testosterone checked. You might be suffering from low testosterone. You might need to go get your blood levels checked. You might need to go on some TRT or change your lifestyle to get your testosterone levels up to a healthy, normal level. That's just, you know, you want to get it done. Those is just not a valid excuse. Absolutely not a valid excuse. I mean, I'll accept I think something is dangerous or I think it's ineffective. Okay. If you think something is dangerous or ineffective, I can understand that. Even if I disagree with you, that's understandable. That's reasonable. But I mean, if you're going to be fit and be an athlete and you say that you have goals, you want to be fit or you want to be athletic or strong, and you're not going to do what you need to do because you think people will look at you funny, come on. Mm-mm. No, go get it done then. That's not a reason. That is not an excuse. That means you need to go do it right now today then. That's your only thing holding you back. Get out there and get it done. Nut up. Go do it. Nat says, you ever do? I don't feel like doing drama videos these days anymore, man. I just don't. I don't really do any exclusive YouTube content anyways. I'm streaming in both platforms right now. I'm on Facebook also. I do more Facebook than YouTube. Only thing that's exclusive to YouTube right now is my jogging vlogs. But if Facebook live views start picking up more and more as the page grows again, I'll start doing those there. You know. But no, I just don't care about YouTube. I'm the only fitness YouTuber anyways. There aren't any others. So why do I care about what these other supposed people are doing? I'm not interested. I'm not interested anymore. You know? I mean, why are y'all interested? Like, why do y'all care what they're doing? I mean, if I don't care, why do you care? Make sure the volume is staying up here. So that photo you posted as a youngster, I need you to be very specific, Big. Which photo? You're talking about the fit one after I started lifting? Or are you talking about the fat one? The fit one, I was about 195. The fat one, I don't know. I have no idea. I had someone in the comments say they guessed 250. I have no idea. The volume went down? Really? I just turned it up. Let me check it again. Oh, yeah, I did. All right, let's try that again. All right, see if it'll stay. It took me by surprise, and I had to turn my phone up. Cameron says, ever since I had my spine fused 2 years ago from a disc injury from a car wreck, conventional deadlift just feels off and gives me low back pain, like in the joints when I feel. Okay. Like pain in the joints, but when I pull sumo, I'm fine. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. So we've got a fused spine. Here's what I'm going to say. Got a disc injury and a fused spine. Right? And one version of a deadlift hurts and the other doesn't. Well, I'm going to say in this case, it makes sense to do the one that doesn't hurt. I'm going to go ahead and have your back, pardon the pun on that one. Yeah, definitely in that situation, the sumo makes sense. Again, specifically dealing with that fused spine. No, you wouldn't be. Big chud. All right. You're not even a fan of one rules. We already know you're true. Coach, you cover raw food versus cook. Appreciate the super chat. Generally speaking, most foods we do better cooked. As a species, we basically came from millions of years of cooked food eaters. Our physiology is well suited for cooked food. It's the reason we were able to dominate multiple continents. Generally speaking, most cooked foods are safer, better bioavailability, and better for us. Most foods, if we cook them, some stuff is okay raw. It's still pretty good. It's just as good. Like fruits are generally fine raw. Some vegetables, but you're still going to get better bioavailability with a lot of vegetables if they are cooked. Meats, you obviously want to cook. Raw potatoes are no. Potatoes are one of those foods that they're way healthier and better cooked. They fall into that cooked. Any sort of root vegetable, though. It's not just potatoes. So no, generally you don't want to eat raw potatoes. There can be some GI tract problems and stuff from it, but they have better nutrient absorption if they're cooked anyways, right? Same thing with meats, safer, lower bacteria count, better absorption of the protein if it's cooked. Eggs, we get a higher bioavailability of the protein cooked. But definitely green vegetables, higher bioavailability. Again, we're largely cooked food omnivores as a species. Our physiology is pretty much structured around that. What are your best running tips? I don't know that I have great running tips. I'm not really a running coach. I'm just running recreationally. So my best running tips might be go consult a running coach. Camber bar bench press better for chest and barbell bench or dumbbell? Arguable. I don't necessarily think it is now. So they gain nutrition via the ability to digest. Right. So cooking pre-digests a lot of your food, and it breaks things down that we don't always have the enzymes to efficiently break down. It basically, cooking food allowed us to expand our diet dramatically as a species, right? Technically, it's species before us, right? So humans have never been raw food eaters. Like Homo sapien, modern human, has never been a raw food eater. We came from millions of years of cooking before technically our species as we know it today existed. So again, it expanded our ability to thrive in a wider variety of environments because we're able to get more nutrition from a wider variety of foods. Because technically our original physiology was, what the crazy fruitarians point out, frugivores, they're not actually wrong. But the problem is we're not that species anymore. Makes sense? Technically, yes, we did come from frugivores who basically lived on raw food. But we're a couple steps removed. I do lots of reading and research. Yeah, our ancestors ate lots of bugs too. I don't eat bugs. I'm not sure because I don't do the appeal to nature fallacy. But if people really want to talk about, well, I want to eat a paleo diet, then you better be eating like a pound of bugs a day. If you're truly trying to do that type of diet. If purely for quad gains, why do you care why do you guys throw that out there? So if your goal was purely quad gains, then you should maximize drugs. Okay. So you guys don't actually mean quad gains at the price of everything else. Because if you guys try to create that hypothetical scenario, so you don't care about fitness, you don't care about health, any of that, you only care about quad gains, then why aren't you using 2 grams of tren? Why aren't you using a whole bottle of insulin every day? Because they're trying to create, if I only care about quad gains, but you care about more than quad gains, I promise you. So let's come over to the Smith machine. So I'm going to answer the question. For purely quad gains, wouldn't the Smith machine squat be better for quads than a barbell squat, more stable, less back? The answer is still no. What you're essentially saying is you don't want the back. You don't want these other things. You can maximize quad growth on a squat just the same way. You know, well, it's usually the whole, well, if I only care about hypertrophy, but you don't care only about hypertrophy. So my point would come back over to the back squat can cause just as much hypertrophy. So why not get the other benefits? If you're going to go work out anyways, you're going to do a squat pattern movement anyways. Do you see where we're going? Why not go ahead and get multiple benefits? It's not like you're going to get less quad gains. So my point is that they don't care only about the hypertrophy. But we also come over to, what do you care about your overall fitness? Do you care about your strength? Do you care about these other traits? They say, no, I only care about hypertrophy. So then you don't care about your fitness. So why not use 2 grams of tren? If you don't care about your fitness or all the other health benefits, I mean, technically 2 grams of tren and just doing leg extensions will build 3 times as big a quads Smith machine squat natural or a back squat roll natural. But their position is extreme also. But they're using the correct words, incorrect words. And that's the problem with that style of training and the idea. It's not like they're going to make less quad gains by doing the back squat. You know? Well, let's come over to overall health. Are you going to get a stronger back, better overall fitness level, better bone density and everything from doing the back squat? So that will still affect you in the long term too. And that's the point I'm making. I don't like that argument that people make because it's a bullshit cop-out to be lazy. Recently watched your video on weight and FMI. You said FFMI is 25 is the level of a world-class natural bodybuilder. The average man. Okay, Sam, I think I'll read the whole thing. Recently watched your video on body weight and fat-free mass index. You said that an FFMI of 25 is the level of a world-class natural bodybuilder. What you say is an achievable fat-free mass index for the average male. I would say a 24 is a 10 to 15 year goal. Drug-free average genetics is a fantastic goal to strive towards. Like 10 to 15 years of continual training with no downtime is pretty good. A lot of natural pros have in the 23s. Like I've seen plenty of guys who had natty pro cards 23 and a half. Still, by the way, still national level competitors, but they just didn't have great genetics. 25 is you start talking 25 drug free, you're talking elite genetics with more than a decade of training. You're talking the top 1%. Coach, can you get it? I mean, hypothetically, but unlikely. And the reason I say that, because the only examples we had from the pre-drug era, I think people were way undershooting their body fat. I think their body fat was higher than they're throwing in that calculator when I even look at their pictures. So even then, I question that the 3 or 4 that have done it supposedly in the pre-steroid era, like from the Mr. Universes and stuff, it's like 3 or 4 guys technically did it based on calculations. But their pictures, their body fat was not what people are plugging in those calculators, I don't think. They weren't as ripped back then. But an average male hit a fat of 25, no. Genetic average guy is not going to reach that. You'll get closer and closer to it, but realistically, I think 24 is a really good lifetime goal for a guy who's not genetically blessed, drug-free. Tell him old PA Sam, hit that like button. I hate when people claim natty when they're obviously on gear. The market is oversaturated. It absolutely is. But no rule. And I always point that out, but still let's come back to the other point. No, there's no reason to actually think the Smith machine squat is superior for quads to a back squat, but it's inferior for a whole lot of other stuff. So my point is, why are people afraid of doing real work? Why are they afraid of getting fit? Why are they afraid of building their whole body? Why do they only care about their quads? A full range of motion back squat has just as much hypertrophic potential. As long as the range of motion of the knee joint is just as deep, you're not missing any quad hypertrophy. Well, they need to learn how to squat. Because then there's also injury risk of using the Smith machine, being locked into a plane. I mean, Smith machines killed plenty of people. It's crippled plenty of people too. I don't think Smith machines are particularly safe personally. Yeah, Marcelo, the average guy that's 25 is not. Like when we talk about a 25, you're talking about a hypothetical limit for genetically elite people with 15 years under the barbell. Yeah. And when we come back over reasons like stability, yeah, you get a lot more athletic doing a back squat. Hey, let's all be athletes instead of just focus on purely bodybuilding. The old school bodybuilders were very much focused on athleticism. So why are we so obsessed with the methods of guys who use so much drugs they can't do these other things? Yeah. Also, you have a fake account. I don't think you actually lift. So use your real account. You made this fake account to come argue with me on all my stuff. No rule. I've caught that. You're too much of a pussy to use your real profile. So under your real, like if you want to argue, I want to see your real face, your real name, your videos. So you're going to go in timeout until you can actually make a real profile with your real lifts and let's see who you are. Like if people want to debate me, I want to see your real name and real face. And I think that's fair. I just realized we got a troll in here. I've been so busy on YouTube, I didn't check Facebook. Let's get rid of this nonsense. This guy's made a few accounts. Like from Care Appreciated Merit. So what were the 3 or 4 factors with real body? I don't know, Nikki. You'll have to go research them. I don't remember all the names. Like I've seen whole displays and videos on it. You can go watch Jeff Nifford's whole video on it this last week. Nikki, are you talking about someone's knowledge isn't useful? Yeah, someone who hides behind a fake account, their knowledge is not useful. I'm not going to entertain debates from people who are not willing to use their real name and face. I don't have to, and I won't. I won't have it. I won't tolerate it. If you can't be man enough to use your real name and your real face to debate me, you're a troll. I don't care what you have to say. Done. Good point on shorts. People focus too much on volume. They should never progress. Absolutely. How are you feeding me? I'm good, dude. Yeah, exactly. That's my point. Imagine debating with someone who doesn't even dare show their own face or their own name. You're not willing to stand by your convictions enough to put your real legal name and face on something. Then that's that simple. The same thing, just like with the NH guy. I actually brought that up and I got put in my place. You know, of all people, you know, someone who put me in my place when I mentioned that? Jamie Lewis straight up clowned me and said, what? Why are you even discussing what a fictional character says about you? He's not even a real person. He doesn't have a real name. He's like, if you even listen to him or anyone listens to him, he goes, they're fucking stupid. That was what he told me. He just called me flat out when it came up in a conversation. He's like, you're really going to care at all in any way what a fake person without a real name, who's not even a real person, says? He called me and said, that's basically a bitch move. And he goes, and anyone who listens to him. That's pretty much what he said. You know, he's like, he goes, damn, I expect better of you. I didn't see Nikki because I banned him. I didn't see what all he had to say. Sorry, I didn't even, I just saw there was a troll on Facebook and I got rid of him and all his posts disappeared. Yeah. Yeah, Jamie. Yeah, he's one of the few guys I've seen tell you straight with authority. Yeah, exactly. He's broke world records in powerlifting. He's a legit dude, whether you like his views or not. Today's training vlog was basic and effective. That's what I appreciate it, Carol. All right, what are your thoughts on farmers walks? I like farmers walks. I think they're good. Raul says, just jumped on. What are you walking on? I'm not. I'm riding my bike. So I run outside. I jog barefoot, and I do this list cardio on my desk bike. And I stream multiple platforms, some Facebook and YouTube both. Yeah, there we go. It's all good. Let's get back to training. There we go, Nikki. Let's talk training. Jamie Lewis is one of them guys. You don't have to like him, but you have to respect him, and that's fair. It took him about a week to adapt. Russell, he said, how quickly did your feet adapt to running barefoot? Keeping in mind, I rebuilt from nothing. I didn't go from shoes to barefoot. Silverback, not training advice, no. Not unless they're a serious high level lifter or coach. Nope. PB Mortal says, looking forward to seeing the workout vlog today. Haven't seen it yet. Good workout. Yeah, I was happy with it. Went good. Yeah, Jamie was an all-time world record holder at one time. Now, his records have all been broke, but 15 years ago or so, he broke the Open 181 records at the world. He broke the world all-time records at that point. Now, like 5 people have broken them since then for his class. Yeah, he was the number one in the world for about 3 months. In the 181 Raw Open. So for about 3 months, he was the strongest person in that weight class ever in recorded history. Weight in class. So yeah, it was about 15 years ago or whatever, 14. But I used to, we used to do podcasts together for a while. He did some of that without a belt. He hit a 600 squat without a belt in the 181 at one time, on one of those meets. No belt, no sleeves. So, he's kind of an intense dude, though, Yeah, he's shorter. He's short, dude. No, I'm not even interested in doing podcasts right now. I didn't even talk with anybody about it. Yeah, he wrestled and stuff too. The Strong AF podcast was gold. Yeah, it was pretty fun while we did it. That was a couple years ago, though. They're still up here on the channel. Yeah, generally. Well, you would think, but there's some dudes who are just built different. That podcast was awesome. Afternoon, Coach. Thanks for the Thai choice yesterday. It was delicious. Glad you enjoyed it, Lars. Probably going to shut this one down at the hour, by the way. Again, this was a lifting day. I don't want to dig too deep because I also did sled work. I don't want to dig too deep into that deficit because we're going to run tomorrow. I haven't even written an ebook yet, so I don't have a plan to release it. I've made a few notes here and there. I don't even have anything close to being anything ready to put an ebook out yet. Maybe a couple years. I'll probably put one out in 2 or 3 years, maybe. Don't hold me to that, though. Catch you later, Coach. Appreciate it, man. Coach, on final question, I just took up running. My squat immediately took a hit like 30%. Scale the running back a little bit. You're pushing too hard too quickly, right? A little too much too fast. Scale it back, reel it in, and build it back up slow, right? So let's say that again, right? Pull it back, reel it back, ease it back in slow. I'm sure you have experience with that. Sometimes you go too deep too quickly, a little painful. Pull back just a little bit. You're a married man, you know this. All right. Of course, the same advice can apply to multiple things. All right. You're funny like that. All right, I'll go ahead and wind down the Facebook and end this. I don't want to go past about an hour. All right, going to go ahead and wind down the YouTube. Love you guys, and I will talk to you next time.